Hey Jim, Alex here. We briefly met on the pages of LinkedIn the other day. I shot you a video about straight men versus women in your manifesto, remember? And just like with those 300 customer emails that you replied to when you got the job, you replied to my LinkedIn message, showed that you care. So in return, I'd like to thank you and give you some of my thoughts about the future of J.Crew that you might find valuable insights or perhaps just confirmations of the thoughts that you already have or the moves that you're already making. Actually, something feels wrong. Oh, I see now. Talking about J.Crew and a Uniqlo V-neck. Let me fix that real quick. All right, this is much better. This is my all-time favorite J.Crew polo I got in San Francisco 5 years ago. In my closet, this is the cheapest polo as a neighbor's Ferragamo, Theory, Boggy, and even high-end shirts like Xenia and Boss. But what's interesting about this polo is that it doesn't look out of place. That's why I hate reading hate press about J.Crew these days. Those authors are like hyenas laughing at a lion from a safe darkness, challenging the weakened brand with their cold-hearted criticism because it sells. But even in those articles, sometimes you can spot a thought or two that could lead to making J.Crew a better brand. For example, that J.Crew is copying United Colors of Benetton in its campaign to serve everybody. And as we know, everybody is nobody today, since you need to focus on niche markets and dominate them. But I don't think you're wrong though, because like you said in one of your interviews, if you don't get them at the basics, you don't get them at all. So you're a huge cotton deal with a great move to bring those shirts down to 15 bucks. That's how Benetton managed to survive too, offering reasonably priced basics. But at the same time, with all this warm and fuzzy, all gender, all color approach, they were really controversial with their ad campaigns, creating undeniable contrast. Did it work? For a while. My company's major, you may say, is in consumer behavior tech. So I must say that society changed, and that's just not how majority of Benetton's customers felt anymore. So Benetton had to recently fall back to its mild, multi-gender, multicolor campaigns without any blood. This change was welcomed by the press, but didn't really have much effect on the consumers because the new generation hasn't really attached itself yet to the new Benetton, and the old generation still remembers what it stood for, and that's why recently Benetton started having more elderly people in their campaigns together with young people. But since 2015, as you probably know, Benetton is losing 7 to 8% growth momentum every year, and they have to take those reevaluation sessions and they have to take money and investment injections to survive. J.Crew from this perspective might be repeating some of the new Benetton's approach, which might not be a good thing unless you find your contrast. Nobody really likes sweet, good, positive girls all the time. Not 100% of the time. Character is created by showing your flip side, not sugar-coated and silver-spooned into buyers' mouths. The other thought from that hate press I found really interesting was that someone dared to assume that because of your cotton deal and you bringing the shirts prices down by 50%, the fabrics will become 50% thinner too. And that's why, according to that author, J.Crew will suck. Well, true or not, J.Crew needs to tackle this allegation. The easiest way is, of course, to say,
our quality will remain unshakable and our things unbreakable. We just love Henry Ford, who always said that you need to be bringing your prices down whenever you can.
But then it might be a good place and time to entertain another idea that I'm sure you know of. Patagonia. You remember that Patagonia introduced a while back their recycle and repair campaign. This could be your contrast, your bold move. It is a bold move for a casual clothing company. So when customers started bringing their old items back to Patagonia stores for repair, it turned out that Patagonia eventually started selling 30% more of the new items and increased customer loyalty by at least 80%. It's crazy. Will those numbers be the same for you? they should be pretty similar. Why not? Especially if fabrics did become thinner, because now you also attract people with lower income than before. Those who are shopping at lower key brands now will shop at J.Crew too, because those basics are affordable and they will expect better quality. So when there's a tear on my son's pants that fit him so well, just want to know that I can bring him back to the store and the alteration will be covered and I'll be buying from you forever. Third thought. In 2013, we got lucky to contract with one customer from San Francisco who was selling tracking systems to retail stores. We had to develop this entire mobile platform with backend, which eventually became the machine learning mechanism for customer behavior and tracking. Back in the day, we used RFID and BLE beacons inside the stores. And because we were the ones creating the software, we got to see all the data. And that data showed us that just by simply rearranging some of the racks inside the store, you could get customers to the popular items much quicker, and we saw the pathways inside the store that were wrong. So we suggested they fix that. And they did. 14% sales increase across the board, across all the stores that were participating in the program. They sold that software later to Groupon. Knowing how customers, your customers, move inside the malls and how they get to your store and how they move inside your store is a superpower. And final and super obvious opportunity. I'm 100% sure you're already moving in this direction. I was looking at your closest competitor, Banana Republic. Your numbers are impressively similar and yet different. To see this difference, you need to look under the hood, because it's not about what Banana Republic is doing, it's how they're doing it. On the left side here we have Banana Republic, and here on the bottom we have J.Crew. You see these numbers are really similar. Like, look at these numbers here. It's like almost identical, 2.3. And also these losses were really identical. I mean, they're doing a little bit better this year, but pretty similar at the same time. The number that we're actually looking at here is this, e-commerce sales. So you see that J.Crew, if you look isolated, if you just look at this graph right here, you see that the growth is steady, right? It's just not like too stiff, but it's steady. And the numbers are much better than Banana Republic numbers, right? The difference is here in these 4 sections. Now, you see that on the bottom here, J.Crew has been steadily growing, and that's what's reflected in the graph above. But with Banana Republic, these 4 years, they started with a loss, and then they made it up to 0.3, and then they grew 16%. And year to date, they're 23.4, means that they will probably be at 26 or something. That's a huge difference. You see that the same year, J.Crew was at 6.2, and then it was 7.7, and these guys were at 0, and then they were at 16. And then J.Crew made it up to 13, but these guys are already at 23.4. So it doesn't matter that 43.9% came from e-commerce sales, J.Crew, and only 17% came to Banana Republic from e-commerce. Their growth in digital area means that they will get to those numbers faster unless J.Crew does something about this. And it also means that right here in this quadrant here, something happened. I mean, you can't really get from 0 to 16% unless you do something critical. And I can tell you exactly what they did. So the reason for that leap is real simple. They started being really aggressive with their social media, their mobile platform, and their collaboration with other retail aggregators like ASOS. With all new customers, I usually do this screening, this little social experiment that I'm going to do right now, which will show me how customers interact with brands. So based on social science, right here we have J.Crew with 1.9 million followers. That's almost twice as many as Banana Republic's 1.1. means that with all the relevant data that we have from digital economy, J.Crew needs to be selling at least 20 to 25% more items than Banana Republic does, but J.Crew isn't. And the reason for that is because remember that leap from 0 to 16 and then 26? That's when Banana Republic started being really aggressive, and they introduced a bunch of stuff in their mobile platform. More on that later, but here's how J.Crew positions its posts, and here's how Banana Republic does the same thing. Look how many models you see on these pictures and the amount of likes and comments. Well, let's just focus on likes, for example. So they range from 1.6 thousand to 10,000 here with these 3 girls. Well, it's a nice picture. Now, take a look at Banana Republic's profile. It's a little more strict. It looks like brand's profile. See, this looks like somebody's profile, and this looks like it's brand's profile. It's a little more strict. But here's what they do different. Models, 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 shoes, 15,000. Model, 7,000. So you see the difference right away. It's twice as many likes. And then this set, it's almost 10,000. But this model has only 2,000 or 6,000 here. Now, well, we can just scroll down and, well, probably find the same stuff in their older posts. Like, I don't know, these shoes, 15,000. And this model, only 2,000. So this set, 10,000. And this model is 5,000 or 6,000. I mean, even this diversity thing, like you see that this is not a skinny model. Still, you get only 5,000 likes. And I mean, this black woman here is 4,000, and this white woman is 4,000, and the set here is 9,000. So every time they post items, they get twice as many likes as their model shots. Even though models seem to be the ones introducing people to the brand, to the new items, promoting those items, but no, people react to items alone on pictures much better, where J.Crew almost has none of those shots. Yeah, I mean, videos actually do pretty good, but those videos are pointless. They're not really promoting anything. You almost have no shots of items, but when you do, you get pretty high amount of likes. It's just, you know, it just then depends on the quality of the picture, I guess. Like this one will have, yeah, more than this one, for example, for sure. Or let me just take a look at this dude picture in the middle. I don't know how many likes, but I suspect something close to 4,000. Yep. So, and then let me guess another one. Let me guess maybe this cute dog will probably have more likes. Yeah, 26.4. That's what I'm talking about. That's where Banana Republic was victorious, figuring out how to position their posts better and how to use their mobile application better to sell their stuff.
Speaking of which, here's the application by Banana Republic. It looks like a blog or something. It looks pretty good. It's not clear right away where I can start shopping. Here, my bag. This button here just gets you to the mother brands, sister brands, your wallet, your account. It's a little messy, but well, it's fine. What's interesting about this app though is this app, which is ASOS. Just spot the difference. Like, it's a lot cleaner, even though it's the same clean look, but they have this categorizations, hiking boots, full layers, going out, new season codes. Like, they go outside the box, and you can also search, and by that, like, you can do a lot more in here. That would be, you see, you can use your camera too, and it's just a lot easier to shop through ASOS. That's why it's so popular. But why I brought this up was where Banana Republic is going in terms of digital and mobile. It's clear to say when you do this. Which one is copying which one? Well, I think it's pretty clear. And I think it's not a bad thing, but there are certain risks for any retail brand that's trying to cope with applications like ASOS.
All this stuff is funny, but ASOS is your friend today. But remember, Toys R Us closed their doors recently because at a certain moment they outsourced their fulfillment to Amazon. And in that moment, it felt so good. They finally took care of this annoying, huge fulfillment problem. Amazon ate them alive, with their customers not willing to get their yelling kids in the backseat of their car, driving through traffic to a physical store. They just want to shop while they're at work or driving back home on their mobile phone and get all that stuff delivered within a day. ASOS, I'm actually not sure if I'm saying it correctly because it's an abbreviation, but anyway, ASOS and other retail aggregators could become for Banana Republic what Amazon became for Toys R Us. It's digital versus brick and mortar. And I know brick and mortar is still doing good, but digital is doing better and better. You can count on seeing at least 50% of all retail sales happening through mobile devices in the next 5 years. And maybe it's your golden ticket right now, since you don't have your mobile platform yet, and I think it's a good thing. And you can see other brands making profits, but at the same time, making mistakes. But when you do have your mobile platform, remember that it's not just a copy, a replica of your physical store on mobile. It's not about sales, it's not about catalog. It has to be about building your community. Any app can sell. Not every app can unite loyal customers under one brand. And that's your shot in the digital economy today. It's not about sales anymore. Sales need to come automatically by default, but it's about who creates a better, wider, more engaged community and can retain your religiously loyal customers. I wish you nothing but the best. If you ever want to grab breakfast or catch up over a glass of wine, it's on me. Until then, thanks for watching and have a great, victorious day.